Why is there a voicemail of the president talking to his son about his overseas business dealings if the president has said he's never spoken to his son about his overseas business dealings?
Well, first I'll say that what the president said stands. So if that's what the president said, that is what stands. And
he's leaving a voicemail about a New York Times article concerning Hunter Biden's business dealings, and he says, I think you're clear. How is that not him talking to his son about his overseas business dealings?
We're not, from this podium, I am not going to talk about alleged materials from the laptop.
So are you disputing the president's voice on the voicemail?
I am not going to talk about alleged materials on the laptop.
Are
it's
you
not
disputing
happening.
Then that it is not?
Peter, I refer you to his son's representative.
Hey, pal, it's Dad. It's 8:15 on Wednesday night. If you get a chance, give me a call. Nothing urgent. Just want to talk to you. I thought the article, at least the thing online, it's going to be printed tomorrow in the Times, was good. I think it's clear. And anyway, if you get a chance, give me a call. I love you.
We have all heard it. The president likes to say, I will always level with you. He says it again and again. Moments ago, though, you seemed to dismiss Peter's question about his conversation with his son, Hunter Biden, with regards to his business dealings. And I'm wondering, how is that silence consistent with the president's promise to always level with the American public? Because, in public, he says he hasn't discussed these business dealings. And then, at least according to the voicemail that's been obtained by the Daily Mail and the Washington Examiner, it certainly seems like he was seeking to do exactly that, have a conversation about these business dealings. Is he leveling with the American public on that?
Phil, I hear your question, but what I can tell you from here, standing at this podium, is that I cannot comment on any materials from the laptop. And I would refer you to the representatives of Hunter Biden. That's what I can share with you at this podium at this time.
There's a Reuters report this morning that says that more than 5 million barrels of oil that were released from the emergency oil reserves were exported to Europe and Asia last month, and some of it reportedly was actually heading to China. Is the administration aware of those reports? Does the president mind that some of this oil that was meant to ease pain for consumers is headed overseas?
I have not seen that report, so I would honestly have to go look into it and see what the truth is in that statement that you just laid out, and see exactly what's happening. I just have not seen that report.
There's video of the French president running up to President Biden, relaying a message saying that the Saudis are about at capacity through the UAE. Did President Biden ask the French to ask the Saudis to pump more oil through the UAE?
I did not hear this conversation, so I can't speak to that conversation.
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt you. The Saudis can increase a little bit, but 150 or a little bit more, and they don't have huge capacities at this stage, before 6 months' time. The last one.
The Atlanta Fed GDP Now tracker is showing that the second quarter, it's estimating second quarter's negative growth, 2.1%. Should that hold, the U.S. has been in recession for the first half of this year. Does the president believe that we are in a recession, first of all? Second of all, if that does hold, does the president accept responsibility for his policies as part of it?
So first, do we believe we're in recession? No. That's my answer to you on that. The facts are this. We've averaged more than 400,000 jobs every month for the past, over the last month, 3 months. And household balance sheets remain strong. So we do not believe that we are in a recession, and we have a nonpartisan entity to speak to that more directly and more specifically.
As a letter that was presented to you, signed by 70 members of the White House press corps, any reaction from the administration regarding that letter?
Well, you could say I responded to you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did say you would talk to us, but that was all I heard. Is there anything else you can add?
Well, look, we're coming into a different place of, we understand we want to be accessible. We want the president his events to be accessible, and we are working to that with the understanding that we have been working through as we look at his events. We're trying to see what the next steps are. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that we're willing to work with you on this, and this is also a priority of ours. As we have said, all options are on the table. The president is going to do everything that he can. I don't have an executive order, executive action to speak to at this time. So I don't have a timeline for you on that. The president's team is continuing to look at our options on how to move forward. And we're going to do everything. The president's going to do everything that he can in his power to. I mean, that's a hypothetical that I can't really speak to.
That's not a litmus test for that,
I'm not gonna go on to.
Published reports today that say overall frustration among Democrats with President Biden. Is this administration concerned about that criticism from Democrats? And it also says that the president is incapable of the urgency needed because of Roe v. Wade being overturned. Any response from the administration to those published reports?
So when you say Democrats, you mean elected officials or
elected Democratic officials?
Okay.
Overall frustration with the Biden administration.
So here's the thing I've heard of this. The president showed urgency. He showed fury. He showed frustration. He spoke to that issue at every time that he could. Within hours of the announcement of the decision that we heard from SCOTUS, he put forth executive authorities that went into effect. There's more work to do. He's going to look at everything that he can do. We have to hold Congress accountable and make sure that they act, and that cannot happen, then Americans need to go to the ballot box. And that is very different. And to say that there is no difference, that is just unbelievably wrong.
But is it concerned that Supreme Court justice
I'm moving on. Go ahead, Phil. Go ahead. Hold on. Go ahead.